Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with another 12 by 12 layout for you. Still working through my 2018 album, but I'm getting there. And this is still, funnily enough, photos documenting the birth of my nephew Tom. You know my sister Jess from this channel, her little boy who was born in September. These photos were taken on the 22nd, a few days after Tom's birth, and this is my partner. And he's having cuddles with his new nephew. So super cute photos. I couldn't choose which one I wanted to include, so I included all three. And I'm actually following a bit of a mood board in the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, which is run by Christina Sorge and I think Sarah Scraps. Christina's certainly from Redefine Creative and the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and they've got a January spending freeze happening and heaps of challenges. So I'm kind of using those challenges to just motivate me to get through and finish my 2018 album, which I am well on the way to doing. I've only got, I think, a couple more 12 by 12 layouts to do, and then I'm into December, so I'll use Christmas stash to do those, and I might try and film some of those ones as well. So yeah, that's where we're at. So as of filming this, as I say in all of my upcoming videos, it's still January. It's the 16th. No baby yet. But I had an appointment today and everything's looking good. So what have I got? 3 and a bit weeks to go until my actual due date. And then who knows how long before he decides to grace us with his presence. It could be any time from now, but there's certainly no baby yet. And I'm not really feeling like there's going to be a baby anytime soon. It's funny whenever I make kind of like ooh faces, or I get Braxton Hicks or something, my partner's like, are you in labour? I'm like, no, not in labour yet, I'll tell you. So yes, it's very cute. He's always listening out for my grunts and moans, and he's like, are you in labour? No, not yet. Anyway, I've told you nothing about this layout, have I? Sorry. So I am using pretty much mostly things from One Canoe to Twilight collection, and as I said I got some of this in a Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit. I picked up some from scrapbook.com, but this was all last year. Certainly no recent purchases, and then a little bit from my stash. So I'm using a mood board based on Frozen, funnily enough, the movie Frozen. Of course, January is winter in America, so some of these themes were winter themed, and I'm in the middle of summer over here, and these photos were taken in September. So what's that? Spring? No, yeah, spring, summer, autumn, winter. So sort of spring-ish. Yeah, so I went with a kind of floral theme because the colours matched the mood board. So it's sort of like those, I guess, icy blues and the corals and pinks. And there was some purples, so I do add a little bit of purple in an enamel dot just to get a little bit of purple on the page, but that's the only place that there is purple. So you've watched me layer up my photos using paper. I've already done that. I've pulled out the ephemera pieces from the Twilight collection that I had in my ephemera pack that I thought would work. I did that off camera, and now I'm just kind of playing around with the layout. I decided that the little extra bits that were on the flowers I didn't love, so I just chopped them off, and that's what I'm doing now, just fussy cutting a couple of those off. And I do it with this floral piece up the top as well. I kind of wish I hadn't done it for that piece, but anyway, I did. Doesn't matter. The end result looks good. And then I'm just sort of creating my clusters, grouping my photos together, and just sort of going with it. There are 2, I think they're on the page, it's hard to tell. Yeah, they are, with my editing software that I'm using, but there were 2 words that came, die cut words that came in the ephemera pack called love. Well, it says love and blessed. So I'm just making that my title. I know it doesn't actually make any sense having those 2 words just sitting there, but the sentiments are there, and I think, yeah, I was really happy, I guess, to use those on the page, and so I just went with it, and I just considered that my title. I haven't edited anything out of this video because the whole thing only took me like 21 minutes or something, 22 minutes to actually put together. It was a super simple layout, and I mean, I had an idea of what I was doing before I started, but not a firm idea, but I did have an idea. And I really just didn't overcomplicate it. I just put it together. That's where I'm at right now. You know, as you can imagine, being almost 37 weeks pregnant, I'm kind of not really, I don't have a lot of time to spare worrying about my scrapbooking at the moment, and I just wanted to get some stuff done for myself and do some creative stuff. And I've got a whole list of chores I need to do, but I wanted to sneak in some scrappy time. So yeah, this is what I came up with. Also, as a side note, this ATG gun I got from my sister as part of my Scrappy advent calendar, and I really like it, but I don't think I've perfected the art of using it just yet. So I'm finding that it doesn't always stick properly. It does always stick really well, but it doesn't come off the gun properly. So I don't know if that's just poor technique on my part. I could also see myself using a lot of tape. Does anybody else have that with the ATG? Like, I've only used it for a few layouts and I've nearly finished one roll already. And I've only got 3 more rolls because that's what Jess bought me. And you can't buy this in Australia, you have to buy it from overseas, I think. So I'll have to investigate where to get the tape from. A few people gave me some ideas, but I'll have to look into that a little bit more. But yeah, I feel like I'm using a lot of tape. I do have a lot of just normal double-sided tape that I need to use through anyway. So it's not like I don't have any adhesive. I've got heaps of adhesive. So I'm trying to use up some of that before I spend too much money buying more adhesive. Yeah, we'll just see how we go. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else finds that with their ATG gun. I really like it. It's quite easy, and it's handy, even though it is so big. But yeah, anyway, I don't think I've got my technique down pat. I should watch a few videos on it maybe. What are we doing now? I'm just finishing off the layout. I'm nearly done actually. I am just popping up the words on some foam. So love and blessed. Wanted to pop those up just to make them stand out a bit on the page. This is a really simple layout, lots of white space, which you know I like to do anyway. If you know me and how I scrap, I predominantly use white cardstock as my background, and I like a lot of white space. So I like the way that looks. And so this is not uncommon for me to have this much white space on the layout. So I'm just popping up the word blessed on foam, and then we're nearly done. I'm going to add some wood veneer hearts. The ones that I'm using are actually from Corbett Creations, and she is from, I don't know if she's from Melbourne, but she's definitely from Australia. And I got them in a Kidaholic kit. And yeah, she does a really good job. She used to make quite thick wood veneer, but she started making some thinner wood veneer based on feedback. And the thinner the better for me, because I don't like to bulk up too much on the album. So I like quite thin wood veneer that adds the bit of texture, but it's not too thick. So I'm just adding 3 little hearts, 1 in each cluster. And now I'm pulling out some of that sort of violet colour, which was in the mood board, but I'm using enamel dots to get that because I don't have that on the layout anywhere else. But they're a nice sort of subtle colour, and I think they go really well. And now I'm just clearing up my workspace because I'm doing my last bit, which is just going to be some misting. I could have done some more misting colours, but I actually only used the gold, the Heidi Swap Colour Shining Gold. For any of you that watched my previous video, you'll know that I have decided that I'm trying to use up a lot of my stuff this year. So I am happy to be using my Heidi Swap Colour Shining Gold. I do have another gold mist. It's acrylic paint based, which I'll be using once this one's finished. So yeah, I'm not afraid to use my stuff. I'm trying to use up my things so that I don't just hoard them forever. That's one of my scrappy goals this year. So we'll see how we go. But yes, you can see there I've done my misting, just quickly cleaning up my workspace, and then this layout is done. I'll show you some super quick close-ups. But I hope you liked it. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. It helps that the photos are super cute and quite, sentimental. So I really loved this. I hope you guys have loved it too. I've got a few more videos that I'm hoping to film at least before baby arrives. So you'll hear from me a little bit more before you get the announcement that we've had a baby. All right, bye guys.